I love to act. I'm here in Nashville trying to do the whole entertainment business. I wanted to get more into acting because of when I was a kid, and now. I love movies. I love seeing how each actor or actress acts. And I've always been very like, look at me, I'm in the camera, and I wanted to be on TV or a movie. You opened my eyes to what stuttering is and why a person stutters. Things I never really knew my whole life. Thank you for your insight and your time, your knowledge, and taking the time to just help each individual come to terms with the fact that they are normal and that we don't have a problem, we don't have a chemical mishap in our brain. It's just the movement of our tongue and connecting all of the connectors together. That's all it is. So thank you for teaching me and opening my eyes to a whole new world with my speech. I have a lot of tension with some of the words and the sounds that I make, and I feel like I just cannot get these words out, and it's just so locked. The tension is all in my mouth, it's all in my jaw, it's in my tongue, it's in the lower part of my jaw. I also feel like it's in my eyes too because I close my eyes and I like tense up, and also in my forehead and my cheeks and my nose. Yeah, and also in my neck, like in the lower part of my larynx type of thing. It's just so constricted. I tend to close my eyes, and I also try to calm myself and breathe and let it flow, but sometimes it just doesn't happen, and I have to start over. Okay. Many times. Forest. Flourish. Flow. Flower.
Can you please explain to me why you're crying right now?
Yeah. It's just so hard, like the struggle. It just like won't come out, and I love talking so much. I love to express myself. Hard too.
So do difficult words exist?
No.
Do difficult letters exist?
No.
I want you to open the dictionary, just read words. Whatever was difficult for you. Letter F?
Yeah, it was F.
Just read.
Farmer. Farmhouse. Farmland. Farmyard. Far off. Far-reaching. Far-sighted. farther, harvest, fascinate, fascinating, passism, great devalue, safflower, saffron, sag, sage, sagebrush, Sagittaria. I was in school and kids were having to read, and when it got to me, I was so nervous and I stumbled over my words, and the kids just started laughing, and I was like, why are you laughing? And I just remember stumbling so hard on a word that I actually left the room and I went into the bathroom and cried. I told my parents and just got into speech therapy. So a woman started coming to the house after school. I would meet her in the room and we would work on speech.
Do you remember what she did with you?
Oh gosh, a lot of pull-outs. So if I were stuttering, it would be like a instead of what you have taught me is the tongue and just go completely into the vowel instead of stay on that and then ease into it.
So do you understand who taught you to do what you're doing today?
Yeah. And it sucks because after that he was trying to help me at the time. And then as I got older, I was like, well, none of that really helped.
She actually made you a stutterer. You would be so much better if you didn't go to a speech therapist.
Now I can definitely see that. She taught me that when I block on a word or a sound, that I pull out of it. So for instance, she would say, "Bah," and then I would pull out of the stutter. Then she would tell me to stutter on purpose. So she would train my brain how it felt to stutter. And then when I wasn't stuttering, how it felt. I'm very, very angry right now. All the years of everything that I was taught was fake. I know she was just trying to help, and she thought she knew what she was doing, but obviously taking this course, I've learned so many different things that is opposite from everything I learned earlier in my life. I'm not going to hold it against her. She obviously didn't know what she was doing. So it is what it is. But I'm not going to get emotional, even though I am. I'm just going to talk about it. Before going into high school, I used to stutter so bad where I couldn't even say my name, Nicole. My mom enrolled me in a very intense speech camp. We would wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, drive to Boston, and I was there all day, every day, for about 3 weeks or so, 4 weeks. There were kids in that class who stuttered so bad, and I felt like I was the one who didn't have a stutter. We would spend hours in a room reading out loud while we were being recorded. We would call people and ask them what time stores open, what time they closed. We had used and learned the techniques of pulling out and to speak slower. They trained us to speak slower.
Did they explain how many words in 1 minute is normal?
No.
So how do you know what's normal and what's not?
Well, the way that they taught us was showing us the flow of the words.
But that's singing. That's
and
not
then we would repeat them.
It's
right.
Singing or chanting.
Yeah.
It's chanting, it's not speaking.
Right.
Every technique is an abnormal way of speaking. It's just a different form of stuttering.
It's really hard to hear after all these years.
But that's reality.
Right. Oh, and I'm coming to terms with it, but yeah. I wish all the guys in my speech camp would take this course. After high school, I moved to Chicago, wanted to do music and sing. I really wasn't focusing on my speech because I was so involved in music and the classes there. I was around people who were like me in terms of wanting to do music and singing. But my speech wasn't great still. I was still struggling. I still stuttered. And I was still pretty nervous to talk out loud. I actually took a speaking course, a public speaking, and that was the hardest class for me. I was scared shitless. But I did it, graduated college, moved to Nashville, and now I'm here.
Why did you decide to finally take care of your speech now?
I wanted to change my speech because there's an opportunity for me to audition for this TV show. I wanted to go into that audition, not have to worry about my speech, and be confident and know that I can do it. And I have learned so much. It's a lot of information because I have been speaking wrong my whole life, not even knowing it. So now I feel once I get this script, I will be more prepared and I will use everything I learned when I'm learning my lines. When I get this part, I'm going to celebrate. My impression of day number 1 was, okay, this is interesting, this is different, this is something that I want to know more of. Speaking to Armand was very eye-opening. I was very skeptical still, asking him a lot of questions, especially with me wanting to be an actor, and the expressions that I would make on my face. I didn't think that was wrong. That was part of me, something I've been doing since I was a child. Everybody laughs about it. They think it's so cute. Never thought it was an issue. He brought it to my attention that it's mainly the reason why I stuttered. And I was like, this guy has no idea what he's talking about. And then he started talking about the tongue, and then Anna started talking about the tongue and how my tongue wasn't moving in the way it was supposed to. And it kind of just started making sense.
So when did you experience first stutter-free speech?
I believe it was number 1. At the end of the day, I felt more free, more ease with my speech, trained my tongue to speak differently, and I was pretty amazed. It's a feeling that I hadn't felt in a pretty long time in terms of just how ease it was in my speaking and just being more in tune with listening. It kind of shocked me in a way.
So what is your impression of day number 2?
The whole comprehension part and how it connects with how you speak, because my comprehension wasn't all there. It's something that I also was not really taught well to do. And reading out loud and comprehending what I'm reading and really focusing on the words and doing the parrot where I read and then I would repeat it back to you. Then the comprehension would start to kick in. And I would remember what I just read. So then it was easier to repeat that. I learned how to use more comprehension when it comes to reading words. Just wanted to say, you opened my eyes to what stuttering is and why a person stutters. Things I never really knew. I was obviously taught wrong my whole life. Thank you for your insight and your time, your knowledge, and taking the time to just help each individual come to terms with the fact that they are normal and that we don't have a problem, we don't have a chemical mishap in our brain. It's just the movement of our tongue and connecting all of the connectors together. That's all it is. So thank you for teaching me and opening my eyes to a whole new world with my speech.